Welcome to Mission Math Tutoring. Today we'll be going over on how to make a table of values to graph a line. This is a topic directly taken from Algebra 1. Let's get started. Let's look at our first example here. Y equals 2x plus 1. We're being told to graph this. The first thing we want to do is create our table of values. The first thing you want to do is create a column for x and a column for y. What we're trying to do is we're trying to substitute in x values into this equation in order to get y values, which will be the points on our graph. So in order to start, we should first pick some x values. We can pick -1, 0, 1, and 2. Generally speaking, you only need 3 points in order to have a complete line, but I'm doing 4 just to ensure that we don't make any mistakes. Now let's plug in our x values into our equation. The first thing we want to do is we want to plug in -1 into our x value here. So it's going to be 2 times -1 plus 1. This is going to equal to 2 times -1 is -2. -2 plus 1 is -1. So our coordinate here is going to be -1, which is from our x value, and our y value is also going to be -1. So our first point is going to be over here. Next, let's look at 0. 2 times 0 plus 1. 2 times 0 is 0, and 0 plus 1 is 1. So our y value is going to be 1. So when we do our coordinate point, it's going to be 0, 1. Now let's look at the graph. So we're here, right, for 0, and we're 1, so we're going to be over here now. Next, let's look at the x value of 1. The same process again. 2 times 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So our new y value is going to be 3, and our coordinate point is going to be 1, 3. Now let's look at 2. So it's the same routine again. We're going to do 2 times 2, since we're plugging in 2 over here, plus 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So our y value is going to be 5. So our coordinate point is going to be 2, 5. Let's now graph both of these points. So we have 1, 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3 upwards. And then we have 2, 5. So we have 1, 2, 5, which is going to be over here. Now we should be drawing a straight line through this. This isn't the best line, but if you had a ruler, you'd do much better. So this is how we're going to be able to graph using a table of values. Now let's look at a different example. Try doing this example yourself. Make sure to pause the video and try it. Alright, now let's get started. It's the same exact routine. So we're going to, again, start by creating the x and y chart. And this time let's pick the same values, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Let's start again. Remember, we're plugging in the -1 here. So in this case, we're going to have -1 plus 1. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. So we're going to do 1 plus 1, which is going to equal us 2. So we know our y value as 2 now. So our first coordinate point is going to be at -1, 2. On the graph, that's going to be here, which is -1 and +2. So 1, 2. We have our first point. Now let's do it with 0. So -0 plus 1 equals. So 0 is going to cancel this out, so we're going to be left with 1. So our coordinate point is going to be 0, 1, which is going to be right over here. Now let's look at 1. So we're going to put the negative side, and we're going to multiply that with +1, and we're going to add 1 to it. As you know, -1, so negative times positive is going to be negative. So we're going to have a negative times 1, which is going to be -1, plus 1 is just going to equal 0. So our coordinate point is going to be 1, 0. It's going to be 1, 0. So it's going to be right over here. And my mistake earlier, 0, 1 is going to be over here. So 1, 0 is going to be over here. Now let's look at our last value. It's going to be negative times 2 plus 1. So negative times 2 is going to be negative 2. Negative 2 plus 1 is just going to be negative 1. So our coordinate point is going to be 2 comma negative 1, which is going to be over here, 2, negative 1. Now we can just draw a line through these points. Again, if you had a ruler, it'd be much more straight. And now we know that these answers are right because you see how they make a consistent line. And also looking at the graph, we can see the graph is going downwards. So we know this is right because the x value is negative. So it indicates a graph that's going down. Thank you so much for watching.